Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Mike Marino.
Where you put the fluid in there,
Yeah, the radiator.
fucked it up, right? So they ended up breaking down at about 40 miles, and that's how they got captured. And we decided we were going to try to do that right there in Petersburg. We tried it. It was December the 29th of 1976. Yeah. And we broke in, and there were still, we had knives, by the way. We had made knives. Just not to hurt anybody, but just to make sure we got, because we couldn't break in there without, there was guards in there. There were not guards, but they were staff members who taught people how to work on cars. Vocational training cops, which it were. So we ended up rounding them up and trying to start a car and drive through the fence. Unfortunately, they took something out of the car. Kept it was a 1969 Plymouth Valiant.
Yeah, like the spark plug or something major for it, so it wouldn't work.
And so anyway, yeah. So we didn't know what to do. We lost the element of surprise. There were actually four of us, and one thing led to another, and we went directly from there to Lewisburg, federal penitentiary in Lewisburg. And for the next 18 years, I was in maximum security prisons like Leavenworth, Lewisburg, Marion, and Atlanta. And I got 11 years for that escape attempt because, we had the weapons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there was more incidents after that, but I'll leave that for another time.
Yeah, we'll get into that another time. But so during your time from these two escapes, the one escape and the second escape attempts, right?
Yeah.
Was there any notable people that you remember that you came across?
Oh shit! Well, yeah, I mean, Quack Quack Rogerio, Quack Quack from Gotti's crew. He was there. You know who he was?
Yeah.
Oh man, Fat Gigi Iglesias. He was from the 116th Street crew, big heroin dealer. In Lewisburg, there was a block. It was actually the honor block. It was called J Block. A lot of people called it Mulberry Street, because it was all the Italians were there. So yeah, there were all kind of Italians. Richie Portella, was it Mikey Biondo? A whole bunch of fucking guys, man. Became my cell partner there was oh my God, I can't even think. It's been 40 years, 50 years almost now. God. Anyway, I'll think of it.
Colombo family, Carmine Persico.
It was the guy was Carmine Persico was there. Absolutely. With this little arm that goes like this. I thought he was like he was only like 5'6", 130 pounds. I never knew he was who he was right away. Like, he just didn't look like that. He just looked like a scrawny old guy. And but he was funny. He was always cracking jokes and stuff.
You said his arm was messed up. Do you remember what he told you happened to his arm?
No, I know what happened now. I mean, I've read it since then and different, things about him. He had gotten shot. The arm was, I thought it was like a birth defect, but it was the results of a gunshot. Yeah. No, the guy I'm thinking of was Carmen Trattora from Boston. He was a wise guy. he may be dead by now. Actually, he wasn't made yet. He got made after he got off of that sentence. He was doing 10 years for bank robbery. And while he was in the halfway house in Boston, right, on that case, when he got out, I think he did like 7 years, 6, 7 years. He got a call. Wear your best suit, blah, blah, blah. You know how you do it. He got a call to go to a making ceremony. He was him and 3 other guys, 4 other guys, forget which. And there's a book about it. It's called The Ceremony. They got called to a making ceremony, and it was in somebody's house. Well, the guy became a rat, and they didn't know it. They didn't know the guy was a rat. It was at his sister's house, right?
Yeah.
It was Jerry Angulo. You know Jerry Angulo, right?
Yeah, I've been to the doghouse in Boston. I was in his clubhouse.
So the FBI was in the next room filming the whole making ceremony, filming it. So
it was outside of Boston. That was
Raymond Patriarch. I think it was in Revere or
Raymond Patriarcha's son was the overseer of that. Patriarcha Senior was in prison at the time. Junior is the one responsible for that making ceremony.
Probably, yeah. Anyway, man, there's a lot of fucking history and drama from New England, man. A lot of rats that were like, see, a lot of them rats, man, did a lot of dirt while they were ratting motherfuckers out,
Yeah, they were trying to save their own self.
But they were doing dirt. They were robbing and stealing and killing while they were working for the FBI. I'm not just talking about Whitey Bulger. I'm talking about there were others who were doing that. Yeah. But anyway, those are some of the guys that I was in prison with in Lewisburg.
Were you ever around Frank Salemi?
That's one of the guys I was just thinking about. He did a lot of dirt while he was a rat. No, I never been around Salemi. I was with Carmine. What the fuck was his name? He died like about a year after I met him. Older guy from East Harlem. Tremonti. He was a boss. What? Ernie Boy Abamonte. Herbie Sperling. These were all guys that were there, That's where
Were
they
you
go.
ever around the other Mike Marino? They call him Gigi.
No, I don't know.
He's from Boston. He's getting out next year. He did 30-something year, 34 years, I believe.
Don't really know.
He's the one that shot Frank Salemi.
Yeah. Well, see, I got out in 03, man.
Allegedly.
I got out in 03. Yeah. Yeah, the whole Salemi story is pretty interesting, but I never met any of those guys. Well, I mean, tell you who I met. What's his name? He's dead now. Good guy. Jesus Christ, what's his name? Novio Turquette. Whole family was involved, man. His father sold an eighth of a Kia coke to a DEA agent at the tender age of 74. His father, his whole family was hooked up, man. It's pretty funny.
How was Quack Quack when you were around him?
I mean, you got to remember, when I was there, I was only like 22, 23 years old. These guys were in their 40s, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't actually interact with them guys too much yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't in their league. Real. Yeah, I was chasing weed and making hooch and shit like that, you know.
And these guys are trying to steer clear of the bullshit to get out to go do the same bullshit, right?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They didn't do any of the shit that I was doing in prison. They stayed away from all, uh, you know, they never broke any rules. They never got any write-ups. That's why they were in the honor unit.
How many write-ups did you get your whole time in prison
Oh,
in 30 years?
probably about 20, you know. Yeah.
For some pretty severe things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I got wrote up for, you know, I got wrote up for possession of marijuana, got dirty urines. Uh, I got wrote up for a murder that happened, but I pled guilty to accessory, and I got 10 years for that.
On top of your
Oh yeah,
sentence,
oh yeah, yeah. They wasn't gonna let that. They wasn't gonna run that concurrent, you know.
no way. And we'll get to that one on the
Yeah,
next one. On the
yeah.
next one.
Wouldn't
And I
mind.
appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time today.
All right, brother. I like being here. Appreciate you.
Definitely, man. It was a great talk, and we'll be back with more of this story if you guys like this. Matter of fact, he's got a new YouTube channel, and I'm gonna share the link in the description of this video. Make sure everyone that's watching this show right now, go subscribe to Mike's new channel. He's got some really interesting guests that come on the show from prison, and they're explaining some wild stories.
Pretty wild for sure.
Definitely. Well, thank you, man.
All right, bro. We'll see you.
Definitely. You want to give anyone a shout out before we go?
I'll give out a shout out to my boy Chad. I'm glad he's out, and I'm glad he's feeling better. That's about it.
Shout out Blood on the Razor Wire TV, and a lot more to come with Mike. And if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this podcast, then start your own. Till next time. Thanks, man.
Bye, bro.